If you haven't seen my last video theorizing the identity of the new Lombax, check it out. If you don't feel like it, don't worry, I'll sum it up here. I believe that this Lombax is none other than Angela, completely unrecognizable due to the reboot following the 2016 Ratchet and Clank. So, what's her new story? We can't possibly figure it out based on a few moments of footage, can we? I think we can. Forget the release date. I think Insomniac has dropped just enough clues for us to discern her story right now. And let me tell you, she just might be the most relatable character in Ratchet and Clank history. With unfounded categorical confidence, I'm just gonna say it right now. I called it. Maybe. The original Angela began her story as the unknown thief.
This top-secret biological experiment was stolen from our testing laboratory by this dupliferous criminal mastermind.
Our heroes chased her across the galaxy. She managed to put up a reasonable fight despite her recurring moments of poor coordination.
1, 2, 3.
Eventually, they found out not only that
He's a she.
This changes nothing.
and a Lombax to boot, but she's also a good guy. Girl. Turns out she stole the protopet because she helped create it, and she was aware of a flaw in its DNA that renders it a bundle of cute and cuddly death.
Introducing the Megacore Protopet. Your child will shriek with joy when he meets our adorable friend.
Megacorp intends to market a killer.
Which is exactly what I've been trying to tell you.
Did I mention they multiplied like mad?
You're gonna have to hurry. Before the protopets completely overrun us!
Yeah, basically one of the many gremlin knockoffs. Near the end, Captain Quark, who was apparently behind the whole thing, tried to frame her, and Ratchet and Clank, as the ones responsible so that he could look like a hero again.
A living menace called the Protopet has been set loose in your galaxy. But fear not, Bogonites. I, Captain Quark, have caught the perpetrators. Yes, good citizens, these are the masterminds with this, super electro gadget I invented. I will end the Protopet threat once and for all.
That's my Elixamorph. I invented it.
Luckily, things got sorted out fairly quickly. There was a happy ending, Angela hung out with the guys a bit, made a cameo in the next game, and was never seen again. Until now, maybe. We can clearly see protopets on the billboards in a dimension that appears to be the one where Clank meets her, suggesting that she is in fact Angela. You can also see a Megacorp logo on one of the left billboards. At a distance, it looks like a stylized volcano. Megacorp only appeared in the one game where Angela showed up. She used to work there, helping create the protopet under Megacorp's employment. If this isn't her world, I don't know what is. So where would she fit into the now? Rift Apart is about a multi-dimensional cataclysm, not protopets. Remember that other multiversal story, Into the Spiderverse? Of course you do. Who can forget it? Who can forget it? There you have Peter Parker, the ultimate Spider-Man, and Peter B. Parker, the less than ultimate Spider-Man. The ultimate Spider-Man lives the good life.
I'm a comic book, I'm a serial, did a Christmas album, I have an excellent theme song.
He saves the world and has fun doing it.
But after everything, I still love being Spider-Man.
The other one?
Broke my back, a drone flew into my face, I buried Aunt May, my wife and I split up.
To say the least, he stopped having fun a long time ago. Now, what's that got to do with anything? I think this Angela is a parallel of Ratchet, the same way Spider-Gwen is a parallel of Spider-Man, even though she's not an alternate Peter Parker. In the last game, Ratchet saved multiple planets. He's a hero. Everyone knows his name. Everyone loves him, except the bad guys and the sort of bad guys. Things are really looking up for the orphan. Oh, there's another thing he has in common with Spider-Man. Meanwhile, in Angela's dimension, You can see wanted posters with Lombax skulls printed on them. One of the posters clearly depicts her. You know those Western movies where a criminal is wanted dead or alive? It looks like Angela is just wanted dead. Maybe a similar protopet fiasco happened here, but instead of Quark, it was Nefarious who blamed it on her and pretended to save the world, gaining favor with the public. Based on the hologram in his likeness, it looks like he's taken over her world. Where does that leave Angela? A lone Lombax in a universe where everyone thinks she's the bad guy. Unlike Ratchet, she hasn't managed to save the world. At this stage, she may not even be trying to save the world, so much as pick herself back up every day to make the next step necessary for survival. This version of Angela may not be aware that the protopet crisis was not her fault. She might just chalk that up to one of the many things she's messed up. Even her mechanical arm says a lot.
Does look cool though, right?
Yeah, cyborgs are pretty cool, but let's think about the fact that she lost an arm, possibly in an accident caused by her signature clumsiness. This would further give her the impression that her life is one horrible slip-up after another. Then she meets this guy, Ratchet. He's just like her, except he became a galactic hero almost overnight. He has both of his arms and all of her skill, minus the occasional clumsiness. What if it goes further than that? What if she's the one behind the multiversal collapse? How could she cause something like that? Well, she is a Lombax, and one of the Lombax's greatest creations was the Dimensionator.
Dimensionator, find home!
In the original series, nearly all the Lombaxes used it to escape to another world to avoid genocide. The only known Lombaxes left behind were Ratchet, his dad, Alistair, and of course Angela. It can banish an entire species to other universes. It's just that powerful. If she got her hands on the Dimensionator, or worse yet, built one that didn't quite work the way it was supposed to, she could have accidentally destabilized the multiverse, just trying to get to her family in a new world her people call home. Notice how even though the multiverse is supposedly collapsing as a whole, it seems to be targeting Ratchet and Clank especially. And when Clank reaches Angela's dimension, it stops. It's possible to give the Dimensionator specific commands like
Dimensionator! I'm the Lombaxes!
Maybe it was trying to find the Lombaxes. Maybe it was malfunctioning, but at the same time it was targeting Ratchet specifically. But on the final teleport, Ratchet and Clank were separated, so it ended up just bringing Clank. Of all the places for Clank to teleport, why would he end up so close to her? I really think she's responsible for this. At one point, Ratchet might have done the same thing, except Dimensionators are incredibly hard to build and eventually he just moved on.
Is that the Dimensionator? Yep. I assume it is no longer functional. Nope.
You know, I just can't catch a break.
I am sorry.
That's okay.
If the Dimensionator was functional, would you use it?
To find the Lombaxes? I don't know. There was a time I would have said yes, but at this point, there's more for me here than over there.
Also notice what the robots said when they started chasing Ratchet.
I have it in my sights.
They said it, not him, it. That suggests to me that they are after a Lombax, but it's not necessarily him. They just know that they're after the only Lombax they know of, which is probably her, but he's the only one who's there at the time. So for all we know, they didn't even get a good look at him, and quickly assumed that he was their target. In any event, this crisis might be too big for Ratchet and Clank, forcing Angela to step up and discover that
you're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think.
Personally, I think she's going to steal the show, because most of us don't just
Sing a little song and your insipid dreams magically come true.
Most of us fall in ways that feel like the world to us.
Don't you get it?
I screwed up. I mean, for 2 seconds, I thought that maybe I could do something right, but...
Why do we force? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
We haven't heard much, but her voice actor sounds perfect. We haven't seen much, but I love her expressions. Brace yourself, because if they do this, get it just right, that face is gonna break our hearts and have us roaring when she makes her stand. Because
as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
You got the makings of greatness in you, but you gotta take the helm and charge your own course. Stick to it, no matter the squalls.
at the end of all this, she's gonna be able to look at Ratchet and say,
I just want to tell you, you are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And you know what? So was I.
even if they don't do this, even if she's not Angela, look at this character. The design alone has so much shelf life. Insomniac, please, please, please make her a regular from now on. I want to see her interacting with Ratchet and Clank in following games. She could have her own spin-offs and fans would eat it up. Guys, you'll have to take my theory with a grain of salt, but honestly, I don't think I'm wrong. When the new Angela steals the show as one of the best Ratchet and Clank characters ever, just remember, I called it. Maybe. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Could she be Angela? Will she have the greatest story yet in Ratchet and Clank? Does any of this make sense? Subscribe and hit the bell for more.